Can you stop barking? Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. For God's sake, stop. 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 What do you want? I don't have meat. Go away. Let's cry the dog. Oh, I want to say, welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. We'll try to finally make this episode. And I hope the dog stops barking because it's getting annoying. Well, let's move out. I remember the controls. Wait a second. Tab M. Yes, M. And we need to go there because there, yeah, accept. I will cut out any encounter.
You're not averse to a bit of profit, are you?
What do you want? Of course not. I want profit.
What's it about?
Nice
I have
feed.
a wonderful offer for you. The deal of your life. Are you interested?
I don't know. Isn't it stolen or something?
Look here, aren't you distrustful?
No, just cautious.
Very wise too. I'm only having a little fun with you, friend. Of course it's not stolen.
Show
All
me
right.
the goods.
Show me what you're selling.
As you wish.
Sure. Oh, good day. Thanks for the book. Yeah, I know. Don't want to read, and let's continue walking there.
Wait a moment. You're him, right? The boy from Scarlet?
Yes. Oh god. What that soldier wants from me. I hope he's not angry. They are not angry when I stole their yeah, I'm not supposed to be there. Hope they're not angry that I stole some armor. Not stole borrowed. Oh god, I forgot.
You're the young fellow who came here from Scarlet's half dead, aren't you?
Yes, that'll be me. Why?
Well, the lady of the castle was asking after you. She wants to talk to you.
Ah, I'll go and see her then. Thank you.
Very well. Don't make her wait. Take care.
Are you serious? What?
Fine, I will go talk to the lady. Right, is shit. I just run for no reason. Codex down, traverse, quest logs. They're good thief. your service lady. How the fucking trap. Sure, man. First log. Where she is? Where she is? Are you sure? No. Lockpick, no. Okay, I shouldn't be here. That dude. Okay, I think step in it.
God save. Can I help you with anything?
I heard you wanted to talk to me, my lady.
It's true. I need something from you.
How can I help?
My cousin, young Sophie, is going to be wed. It will be an entry into a new life, and I want everything to be perfect for her. I'm looking for a few things to give her as a gift, and you're going to find them for me.
My lady, why me?
Normally I'd let the Chamberlain take care of it, but he doesn't have any taste. I can't trust him with this. And I've been told no task is too challenging for you. Is that not true?
It will be my honor, my lady.
I need you to pick up an ornamental crown from Sasau for Sophie, wine from a merchant in Ratai, and a roan from the stable in Ujits.
And the ornamental crown?
I had the engravers in Sasau make it, but now they've written to say it will take a while longer. That just won't do. The wedding is almost upon us, and I need it. Go and see Master Jeronim Slesky and pick it up.
Who am I supposed to pick up the wine from?
From Conrad Hagen in Ratai. He's the only person in the whole region who can supply a genuinely good wine. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Here you go. That should be enough.
You said a roan from Ujits.
Precisely. It's a beautiful animal. Wait till you see it. Dietrich said he'd ride it here himself, but I can already imagine how he'll end up killing himself on that horse. But you, so young and vigorous.
I'm scared.
Who am I supposed to pick up the wine from?
From Conrad Hagen in Ratai. He's the only person in the whole... And
Wine, a roan, and a crown.
thank you. I just...
My apologies, but could you tell me one more time? Wine, a roan, and a crown. I can handle that.
Thank you, Henry. I just wish there were others here I could trust so well. May the Lord
Yeah,
watch
I'm
over
still
you.
scared. And I'm gonna do your thing a bit later. I have to self-murder. I didn't know. Okay, so if I don't run into anything interesting, I'm gonna skip or time speed at this point because, well, it will take a long time to get there. I guess I'm gonna skip. Well, then see you in a bit if then nothing happens. I hope nothing happens. Usually something happens to me. Find some cows. Okay, nice. Drawing point. I'll probably from the beginning, like from my intros, you probably know that I know where to go. And I'm going right there, so. Hello! Oh, something happened here. Why is there this thing? Why are these things outside windows or right the stations? Why is there a line?
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here. That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz,
Again, the line.
and I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him. Sakra.
Nothing's ever easy.
A line.
I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this
What the
mess
hell
off
is
my
going on
hands
with
and
those
welcome
lines?
to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
And my
A poor
helmet's hat.
crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Let's talk. I know who to talk. If I remember correctly, you know
Good day to you.
everything.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know anything about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden. But I suppose no sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Thank you.
That's all.
This is all I
Thank you.
needed.
Take care now.
And everyone live. Okay.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Yeah.
Night.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but after what happened, I wouldn't wonder.
Do you know anyone Lubos used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes, but he never said much.
That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
May the Lord watch over you. Hey, are you doing?
Hell. Let me say I have to talk more. Why is he not speaking? What the hell is going on? What? Okay, silent conversation. Fine. I don't know.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Why is he... how...
That man Lubos who was murdered, what was he like?
Why is he not talking? Why? What the hell is going on? How the fuck I know what he's saying? Of course we have subtitles, but how the hell? How the hell? Why is... what the hell is going on?
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I had him around a while, no idea where he was. Skulking. Or skulking. I don't know. But he's still not talking. Okay, I'm not listening to this man.
Do you know what Lubos was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
Speak.
Do you know
Speak in
anyone Lubos
words
used to
and
spend time
letters.
with? Relatives or friends?
I understand that you couldn't read in these ages. It was scarce, but... dude, everyone could speak. Fine.
That's all. Thank you.
Good luck to you. You don't speak still.
Are you serious?
Oh, now you're speaking. I really want to punch you in the face.
Are you serious?
An inscription in blood. It's a pity I don't know how to read. Looks like they wanted to give someone a warning. But who? And a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That would explain why he didn't scream.
No! For God's sakes. Walk out and close the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go to the breeze. The awesome breeze. Oh, nice. I got a punch. Let's put that in. Okay. If I remember correctly, the breeze. Share his soul. Ow. I'm dumb. I'm seriously dumb. Okay, so how the hell are you gonna pull the... oh god, they're gonna go again. No. Yay! The priest with the sword! Wooden sword, but still a sword. It works. Hello! If you don't talk, I'm gonna kill you.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators.
I'm not a child.
But ask as you wish, boy.
Maybe I'm young,
I
but
hope
I'm
this
not a
nasty
child.
business will be cleared up
Henry's
quickly.
definitely not
Did you
a
know
child.
Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhoff was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that, when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can, because if I broke that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't. Maybe not immediately, but one day. The mills of God grind slowly.
We're talking about the murder in the bed guy. Why is there? You know how to build a sword, and do you have any work for me? What the hell?
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhoff raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right? Thank you, Father.
Take care now.
Okay. Right around here near the grass field, I would like to find him some water. Wait, there's water here. Oh, nice. It's here. Okay, we'll leave here near the grass and water, and I'm gonna clean myself in the water.
Hey!
Lord Almighty!
I'm not a lord.
Be a bit more careful.
Of course. Wait. Yeah. I gonna do this enough energy, nourishment, energy, health.
Folks these days.
Okay, let's talk to your priest.
What's the hold up there?
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I just 2 hours ago I told you who I am.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're
They're
dead.
dead. Yeah.
Well, I'm
I know.
sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless.
Why I'm so drunk already.
We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujitz, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
Interesting.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again, and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where else do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujitz is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue-lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
I'm really drunk right now. Henry, you're drunk as hell.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
You're already drunk, Henry. And the fun part begins. I like this. I really like this. It's so awesome. The best potion.
To nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj panunie swej smutek do mnie loi rano utek. Niech ich małżeński majstak, do wczera żylne saje prak. Už sej moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Buďme se vámi, ano rada slávy, a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra je tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned, ať točí se svět.
Enough of this! Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped, and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up. yourself not hurt thy neighbor.
Curse it! What's the matter? Come on. Ah! Is that all you?
Apparently his hammer does hell. I would say he's high as a kite. There were no
I'd
kites
love
that day.
to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry.
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step,
Look
my
out.
dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself. Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Disgusting.
Ah, bloody oath.
Yeah. What he said.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
I think climax was when you were opening it. I think this official gone crazy. Godwin, come on.
Hey!
Oh, you insist? Godwin, you're not a sheep. Stop. Stop. Such a beautiful scenery.
Well, I have to say that was a fine
Evening. It was night. And you're walking. And the sunset was ruined by priest vomiting. Eee. Disgusting.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. And we have a wonderful time.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Wait, before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me. I'd like to help you, but you can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit?
Pretty
Do you
much
want them
yes.
to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me,
The bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
How did you get dressed so fast and I'm still half naked?
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, alright. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do, exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Henry's still drunk and high as a kite. And I need to get dressed up for armor. Before I will grab this. Nah. It's covered in blood. Take this. It just ripped. Is it better? Get this one. Is it better? Nope. Nope. Yes. Okay, I'm ready.
Come on, Henry.
Yeah, move. Drunk fuck. Just in case if I fuck up. Oh, I cannot say fuck. Okay, guess one chance. Yeah, bring people are always fun. Jesus Christ.
I thought he'd never show up. The swill.
Look, he can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Busted.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem
I don't
in
fucking
sanctas
understand anything he said.
at venerabiles
Thank God for
manus
subtitles.
suas.
Jesus Christ.
Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So Henry, you may begin.
Yeah, give a random intro. I think your priest will puke first.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone.
Oh, fuck.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame. Shame upon them.
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who should seek the salvation of souls instead seek mammon and the idle comfort of lucrative posts. Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you and bear with you the burden of this earthly pilgrimage, who do not condemn your venial sins.
Aye, all honor to Godwin. Let him drink like one of us.
That is all I heard in Prague.
Those people are really strange. They're glitchy. They're really glitchy. Jesus Christ, I took the
lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm glad
silver
he came
tongue.
here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you
I
have
thought you
talent,
could
and I
kiss
can't
me.
deny it. And you pulled a
That
thorn from my
scared
side.
really
I
fast.
almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed.
I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin,
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you,
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
so I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pious. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Well, that was fun. I guess I will end on this, and if this nonsense doesn't save, I'm gonna kill myself. It's a night. I like recorded before that like 5 times or 10 times, and I got angry. Didn't do it for a real long time. Now I am hoping it will save. So if it saves and you watched to this part, congratulations. Thank you for being dedicated. If not, well, I would say one thing: screw you. We'll see you. I will see you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna see you in the next part, and I hope we can continue if it saves. See ya, and have a nice night, day, or morning to you guys. Goodbye.